Today we have some news from a potential buyout of Ubisoft by Tencent, as well as some thoughts that I had in reaction to seeing a recent video by I'm Marksman regarding Search and Destroy. Does XDefiant have an identity crisis? Some people think that this game is meant to be casual, while others consider it to be a competitive shooter. I personally believe there's too many cheesy mechanics to take it way too seriously. And although Search and Destroy or Bomb mode is a good addition to the game, I don't think that it gave the surge in player base people who are big fans of the mode thought it would. I for one don't necessarily enjoy that type of mode unless I'm playing with friends and talking on the microphone, and one missing aspect is the ability to talk to opponents between rounds. I think this adds more variety from a content creation perspective, as well as just for anybody, whether it's funny moments, trash talk, or whatever, but I can understand them wanting to limit the toxicity. I personally have voice chat muted. I had way too many people on various games over the years breathing into the mic, moaning in my ear when they die, screaming out slurs, messing up my clip, or whatever. In the review video, Marksman said he thinks that there shouldn't be a faction limit in Search and Destroy on non-ranked mode, and although I do see how that could be fun, I also see how it could be incredibly annoying. The less cheese, the better, in my opinion. All that said, do you think XDefiant is truly a competitive game or a casual game? Do you think that ranked mode really matters? I think with all the other problems within the game, ranked mode may have taken time and attention away from other aspects of the game that would bring a larger casual player base, which every game needs in order to have a thriving competitive scene. Keep in mind the competitive scene is like 5% of the player base. You need to cater to the 95%, just like they cater to that massive majority of players with input-based matchmaking on by default. Clearly mouse and keyboard is an afterthought. I personally have not played a single game of ranked, and until something like the netcode is fixed, solo queue is added, spider bot is changed, footsteps are improved, I can't really look at it as a fair and balanced competitive mode when I don't have 3 other friends to play with constantly. And I don't feel incentivized to chase a rank that probably 5% of the player base cares about. It's not going to get me any more YouTube views. I had a comment the other day that said if people want to play casual games, don't play a competitive shooter. But I simply think that mentality about the game is what has driven away so many people. This sense of elitism and holier than thou that I see, whether it's YouTube, Reddit, when somebody makes a point and gives some constructive criticism and is immediately met with hostility and insults. Get good, skill issue. This is the type of attitude that pushes new players away from the game. I've been leveling up my second sniper working towards the pyroclastic camo, and it's funny how somebody can queef on the other side of the map and you lose your gunfight because they sneezed at your pinky toe. I can run and gun with a sniper and get good results occasionally if my enemies are not FPS veterans, but any competent opponent will give a sniper a rough time now. You can hold angles and use the sniper how it's meant to be used, but with the current footsteps in the game, somebody can just run and put a shotgun up you and give you a colonoscopy without any footsteps at all. So I mean, I guess right now's the time to level up your shotguns while the footsteps are shitty. I know that this change was probably made for the sake of Search and Destroy, but at the same time, you know, things like Spiderbot, things like Firebomb, things like the Phantom being able to drop his shield and you don't even see the character make an animation of shooting his shield so that you could like maybe react, maybe run for cover or something instead of just stand and keep shooting him. There's a lot of things in the game that kind of take away from the competitive aspect and add randomness into the gameplay. I don't know if you agree with me or not. Of course there's counters to almost everything, but there's not really any counters right now to the shitty footsteps. There's not any counters to the bad netcode problems. Like if a Phantom's in front of you and he's got his AR out and all of a sudden he drops a shield, you don't even see him pull the little shield launcher out. What are you supposed to do? If somebody's a cleaner, you're not supposed to let them get close enough to you. You know, you hear beep, beep, beep. Every time I hear beep, 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 I'm already pretty much screwed. Because they don't have footsteps on me when they're flanking me or whatever, and they close the distance. A little bit of a crazy aside, but you know, I gotta use this as my therapy too. There's been rumors for a week or two about Ubisoft potentially getting bought out, and today more have surfaced, claiming that they might get purchased by Tencent, who already owns 9 or 10% of Ubisoft. They also own a big stake in Activision, Riot Games, and more. If there was any big company that would do a buyout, it might be them. One thing that they are very well known for is microtransactions, so I would be curious to see how they steer the ship and how greedy they could possibly get. Keep in mind they had a $500 skin in League of Legends. The skins in Valorant are not cheap either. Maybe that pyroclastic camo grind is sounding a little bit better to me now. All that said, I don't want to take too much of your time, but let me know, what do you think about the game? Is it a casual shooter? Is it a competitive shooter? What do you think would happen if Tencent were to buy out Ubisoft? Hope you all have a great day and catch you on the next one. Drop a like and subscribe if you want to help me reach YouTube partnership with 1,000 subscribers. We're getting closer by the day. Thank you, and y'all take it easy.